speaker, by all means raise your hand because we've kind of incorporated that into presentation. So please feel free, it's an open floor, so don't be shy. So I want to introduce our next speaker, Louise. Louise is an online and social media expert. She launched her book just recently in October 2017 called Fixed Marketing. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Louise and let her take it.
Hi everybody, I'm delighted to be here. Hi to everyone in the room. Hi to everyone out there in cyberspace. Thank you so much to Noreen for inviting me to speak. My name is Louise McDonnell. I have been training, coaching and helping small businesses, sole traders, community groups since 2009 on how to use digital marketing to reach customers more effectively. So I have a particular expertise in Facebook marketing and social media. If you want to connect with me, tweet me today at Louise McD Social. And there's my Facebook page there, facebook.com, Louise McD Social. So I'll answer as many questions as I can today, but if anybody has something that occurs to them later, please feel free to connect with me through social media and I'll answer any questions anybody has. So I started training, doing I suppose, Facebook training, social media training back in 2009. And then, just as the introduction said, I suppose I'm so passionate about it that I decided to write a book about it. And the book I launched last October and it was published through the Lippy Press, so it's available anywhere in the world. But one of the main reasons that I wrote the book was that I believe that Facebook has such potential. I think it's one of the most powerful marketing tools available to businesses and in particular to small businesses. I work with lots of micro enterprises, lots of small businesses, and they don't normally have access to national TV stations or national radio stations or even the national press. Most of their marketing, if they can afford to do anything, is local based, whether that would be with a local newspaper or a local radio station. And in fact, there are some businesses that I meet that can't even afford to do that. Facebook presents an opportunity for small businesses that if they use it well, effectively, strategically, they have the opportunity to do really well for their business. They have the opportunity to reach customers and potential customers. And some businesses will do it without spending a cent. And other businesses will do it with spending 20, 30, 40, 50 euros, but spending it strategically, spending it well, monitoring the return, and knowing what's working and learning from it. Okay, so I believe that Facebook is such a powerful tool, and I believe every business should be using it. Should buy my book as well. I also believe that most businesses are only scratching the surface when it comes to the potential of Facebook. Okay, I see businesses, and I don't want to be mean now, but they think that Facebook owes them something. Oh, I set up a Facebook page and it doesn't work. And you're like, show me it. And you're like, yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, you set up, just because it's a powerful tool doesn't mean that you can set up a business page and, hey, presto, I'm going to start reaching people all over the world. It doesn't happen like that. Yeah, you need to work a little bit harder. So what I decided to do, I did a survey. Okay, I have the results of it here today. So you're the first people that are getting to see this. I did a survey of 280 businesses. I did the survey between December 2017 and I just literally closed it off last week. So this is hot off the press. And I asked Irish businesses how they used social media in 2017 and what their outlook is for 2018. And here are some of the results. When I asked businesses what social networks they used, this is what came back. So Facebook was by far the most used social network at 95%. This was followed by Twitter at 54%, LinkedIn at 48%, Instagram at 45%, YouTube at 20%, Snapchat at 13%. So I decided to see if I could segment these results a little bit more. So I said, well, let's look at the business to business, B2B, because B2B and B2C, business to business, business to consumer, they're different. So how do business to business, the sector, how do they use social network? What social networks do they use, in fact? And the results were still Facebook coming out on top at 88%, followed by LinkedIn, which doesn't surprise me at 82%. I don't know about you guys, but I find LinkedIn is really making a comeback in most recent years, and I'm beginning to like it more and more. Might be the next book. Twitter then 72%, Instagram 32%, YouTube 25%, and Snapchat just 1% for business to business sector, okay? And then what I asked businesses was, well, what social media network brings you the most business? Okay, so for the B2B sector, Facebook still came out on top at 61%, LinkedIn obviously at 28%, and Twitter, and none of the other social networks featured at all. When we look at the business to consumer sector, Facebook by far the most popular in terms of its usage. So 97% of Irish businesses that I surveyed said that they used Facebook, followed by Instagram. Okay, so Instagram's really growing at 49%. Twitter, 47%, LinkedIn then 35%, YouTube 18%, and Snapchat then makes an appearance then at 18%. And when I asked the business to consumer sector, well, what brings the most business? Facebook came out the top, followed by trailing Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or LinkedIn and Snapchat. Okay, so then I said we delve a little bit deeper into these stats, and I asked Irish businesses why they use social media. And I was delighted to see that brand awareness came out on top, because most people think that social media is a place that you can sell. Okay, that came in second. So I'll be talking in a few minutes about how we need to change our mindset if we want to be successful on social media. So increasing brand awareness is a good answer. Advertising products and services, yes, you still want to sell your products and services, that's why you're in business, but you need to be strategic about it. Nurture relationship with customers and potential customers, communicate with customers and analyze the competition. So these are the top reasons that Irish businesses say they used it. Now, the greatest challenge, time. Time was mentioned so much, okay? It's by far the biggest challenge for businesses. Content creation is a challenge. Knowledge and understanding, things keep changing, I need to keep on top of it. Reaching the right audience, making sure that I'm spending my time effectively and reaching the right audience. Maintaining organic reach, which is becoming even more of an issue, and I'm going to be talking about that in a few minutes. Standing out from the crowd, so not to be the same as everyone else. Being consistent and getting return on investment are the greatest challenges. So, I decided to do another analysis, because what I'm beginning to get is more and more people seem to be getting annoyed with Facebook. And they're going, well, I'm just not seeing the results that I want, and why is this happening? And, and I keep saying to them, yeah, but you can't give up on it just because you're not getting the results. Maybe you're not doing it right. There's 2.3 million people every single day on Facebook in Ireland. Okay, within a 50-kilometre radius of this room, there's 50,000 people on Facebook. There are more people using Facebook every day in Ireland than Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter combined. Okay, so I just want to present this as an opportunity, but it's not easy. Okay, so I decided to do an analysis of 30 different business pages. And what I decided to do is that I would review 10 of their most recent posts. And I would look at what kind of an organic reach they were getting. So for those of you who may not understand all the terminology, organic means non-paid for, okay, so you didn't have to pay for it. Reach is how many people saw a post. So you create a post on your Facebook page. Organic reach means how many people saw that post without you having to pay. So I looked at what the percentage organic reach. So let's say you had a page with 1,000 likes, and let's say the organic reach of a post was 1,000. Well, then that got 100% reach. Okay? So I just looked at the organic reach. Then I looked at the quality of the content, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes what I mean by the quality of the content. I looked at the quantity. That me? I stopped moving. I looked at the quantity of posts published on the page because that had an impact as well, and I tuned into the insights. So this is just an example. So this is just one of my posts. Okay, so what did I look at? These are the 11 factors that I considered on every single post that I looked at. So it's cross-site at the end of it, I can guarantee you. The first thing I looked at was the quality of the content. Like, was the content good or not? Because if you put up bad content, you can't expect it's going to perform well. And that's really one of the most fundamental parts of your social media strategy. So first of all, I looked at, did I think the quality of content was good or not? And then I looked, well, what type of content was it? Was it a sales content or was it brand awareness? Okay, so sales content is always going to get much less of a reach because of the fact that it's sales, and only 2% of the people that connect with you at any given time are ready to buy. Brand awareness content, less salesy, and if you can make that content useful to the viewer or to whoever is seeing it, they're more likely to engage with it. So I looked at the quality, the brand awareness. Then I looked at if there was an image or a video, was it a good image or video? What was the quality of the image of a video? And then I looked at how much text was in the thumbnail. So this is a video here, and there's quite actually a lot of text in that. So we know that posts with images or even thumbnails from videos with a lot of text, they don't perform as well. Okay, they don't perform as well organically.
I'm a deliverer, I know all about trying to get a post with text.
You're better off.
They won't even accept it.
No, you're better off not to try, because what do they know? They're not being mean, okay?
Oh, I know they don't.
So sometimes I do it myself. I'm getting hot here. Sometimes I will do it myself, where I'll do a video and then I'll want to boost it, turn it into an ad, and then I'm like, oh, too much text in that, that's not even going to go. But if it won't work for an ad, it won't work organically either. So choose your thumbnails and your images wisely. Just be careful about having too much text in, because that will affect, these are one of the factors I noticed. Okay, if the image featured a person from the business, it had a major impact on the organic reach of that post. So you need to get in the frame. That's one of my new phrases, get in the frame. The quality of the post description has a big impact on how the post performs. The time of the day, okay, the day of the week. Saturday, I find on my pages, doesn't work. Sunday, evening, brilliant. Evening time better. Sometimes if it's a business page during the day is okay, but really you need to find what's going to work for your page. Timing of the previous post. So I come across some posts and I'm like, well, that was good content. That's a good image. Time of day is not bad. Description's not bad. It's brand awareness. That should have performed well. And then I look, and it's a third post within 10 minutes. That's just not going to work. So timing of the previous post, and original versus shared post. So if you found a post on somebody else's page and you found it was brilliant, and you shared that onto your page, you can expect to get about 30% of the organic reach you normally would. Won't work. The other thing that won't work is if, let's say, you find a post and everybody's sharing it, and even if you create a brand new original post and it's been shared by 10 other pages that day, that's not going to perform that well either. Then obviously engagement, likes, comments and shares. So these are your votes. These are how the general public, the people that are viewing the post, this is how they vote. They don't realize they're voting, but Facebook is actually measuring all that, and the more that people engage with a post, the more organic reach it will receive. The number of page, the reach, which is also something that I looked at, so the reach of the post over the number of page likes. So there's a lot to consider. Just to summarize that, the quality of the content, sales versus brand awareness, quality of the image or video thumbnail used, percentage of text in the image of thumbnail, if the image featured a person from the business, quality of the post description, time of day, timing of previous posts, and original versus shared content, okay, and the post engagement. So every time that you go to post on Facebook, this is what you need to think about. Because if you don't get all this right, you're not going to get good organic reach, okay? Lessons learned. So what did I learn from looking at 10 posts from 30 pages? What did I learn? Good content, badly presented, won't work. Badly presented, what do I mean by that? All those things, okay, badly done. So your content could be super, but if you don't present it well, if you present it with a bad image or loads of text in the image, or bad time of day, or the third post that day, or bad, when people are asleep. That's not going to work. What else doesn't work? Bad content presented well. So if the content's not good, it doesn't matter what image, what video, what description, what time of day, how strategic you are. If the content's not good, that won't work either. Good content, well, posted one after the other, I said that already, and content that is not original does not work. But I put these down because it was such a common occurrence to have posts shared one after the other and to have content reshared more than once. And here's another thing I learned. Sometimes I would come across, actually it would happen generally with a page. Good content, presented well, nothing wrong with the post, but it's just no engagement. So what did I think about that? If it's not resonating with your audience, you need to sit down and think of something else. Because if the type of content you're pushing out there isn't working, it's going to do and people aren't engaging, and you can see the reach of every post getting smaller and smaller, it's going to do more harm than good. Okay, so repeating what does not work, okay? So this is what Facebook tell us. They look at 4 factors which influence organic reach. So that was all me based on what I learn and look at and tuning in. But this is what Facebook tell us. So does a post get into the newsfeed or not? The first thing they look at is inventory. What else is being posted at the time? So if your page is publishing a post at the same time as maybe loads of other pages are posting, well then you've got to compete against that. That's the first thing that you can take into consideration. The second are the signals. So here we go, frequency of posts from that person. So if you haven't posted in 6 months and then all of a sudden you post, geez, it would want to be amazing for them to put it out there. And previous negative feedback. So if people say hide post, you know when you look in your analytics, do you do that? And you see, oh, one person said hide post. That's okay. But if 10 people are doing it every time, you need to rethink that one. How people are reacting, engagement is huge. So if people are liking, clicking, commenting, sharing, and I'll be talking about that in just a little more because it's becoming even more important. But it's authentic engagement, the right engagement. The device, the bandwidth. So let's say I post up this super duper video and you're someplace on your phone with no broadband. You're not going to see that content. So that has an impact. If your friends are engaging with the post, you might have noticed that. So let's say you like a page, they publish a post, 2 or 3 of your friends also like the page, they maybe commented on it. It will pop up in front of you and you'll see their comments. So if your friends have engaged with it, time of the day, the subject of the post, if it's negative, if there's a negative connotation on the post, that will have an impact not only on organic reach but also with ads. So anybody who's working in a gym and they're trying to sell weight loss, you have to be so careful about how you present that because sometimes you'll get no organic reach if it seems to be negative. And then this is one, completeness of page profile. So make sure your page profile is totally set up properly. Go to the About Us section and fill in all those little things at the back there because that will impact on the organic reach of your posts. So the third thing that they say is that they use all the signals and they make predictions of what we are likely to want to see in our newsfeed. So if I create a post on my page, you like the page, then they look at the signals and they look at the inventory and they predict whether you are likely to want to see that content. So really that's where I think the engagement becomes really important on posts because they're really going to take that into consideration. Did you ever notice that if there's a page that you stop engaging with the content, you just stop seeing it? That's what happens. And then score. So every page gets a score. So we all have a little score and we don't get to see it. But that's why it's so important to tune into what's working because that's going to bring up your score. And it's important to eliminate what's not working because that's going to bring down your score. You need to have a good score to maintain organic reach. And it's becoming even more important. The algorithm changed in 2018. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard about the big announcement from Facebook. Yeah, on the 11th of January, they made this big announcement. But you know what? They made another announcement on the 18th of December that nobody is talking about, and I believe it's actually more important, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. So what they said in January is that they feel that the user experience on Facebook maybe isn't as good as it used to be. You know why? Because it's full of spam, full of like and share and like and tag, and full of articles that are misleading and clickbait and all this kind of thing. So they're going to try and change things. Whoops, Daisy. They are now going to prioritize posts that spark conversations. So conversation is a really important word there, and meaningful interactions. So it needs to be conversational and meaningful interactions. And then they are going to predict which posts that you're likely to interact about. Okay, so that's just going, like, that's actually not new. We knew that all along. You had to have engagement if you want to have organic reach. And they're going to prioritize posts from friends and family over public content. And guess what, guys? That's business pages. So anybody here that's an admin of a business page is going to impact you. They're going to show less public content, including videos and other posts from businesses. Okay, now the impact will vary from page to page and will be driven by factors including the type of content. So that's going back to what I mentioned earlier on, the quality of the content, yeah? How people interact with that. What's that? Interactions are what? Engagements. How do people engage with your posts? What can they do? Comments, like, share, click. Easiest one to get is a click, okay? They say the comments are the best, but you know what? The easiest ones to get are what? Clicks. How do you get clicks on a post? Make it interesting. Anything else?
Sorry, when you get click, is that just to click on it so that they have to read more? So
that's one way.
Or is it a link to?
That's another way. Although they say the posts with the links are getting less organic reach because they don't want to take you away from the platform. But if you can click to see more, so it's just you're given a recipe and blah, blah, blah to see the end, to see more. Anything else? Publish 10 photographs rather than one, and if people are dead nosy and want to see all the photographs, they'll click through and look at them. Yes, these are things that work. They work. Don't put up a collage of one image that looks fancy that nobody can see. Yeah, put up 10 photographs and give them all a description and have loads of different people in them, and that will get great content clicks. Okay, so they say interactions. People making posts that generally don't react to. So if you don't get engagement, you're not going to get any reach. This isn't new, but they're just kind of, they announced it in January, and I suppose it's going to become more important. Okay, 10 things to avoid. I must mention the 18th of December. What they said on the 18th of December is that any clickbaiting, which I'll be talking about in a few minutes, any pages that systematically and continually engage in clickbaiting, so that's like this, or tag a friend if you want to win this competition, or share this with your friends if you want to win this competition. And even if it's not a competition, even if you think this post is good, please like it and comment below with your, if you are encouraging any form of engagement which is not authentic, okay, if you are seen to be just trying to get engagement for the sake of it, you'll be penalized. So I believe it's the end of like and share, like and tag. Hallelujah. I hate them. Okay, 10 things to avoid. Clickbaiting. We're talking about that in a few more minutes. Like baiting, comment baiting, engagement baiting. I've got examples to show in a few minutes. Posts which include spammy links. So if you say something that's leading to try and get someone to click through to your website, and then they go, oh, that's not what that's about, that's going to be, and they go straight back, they bounce back, that's going to penalize, you're going to run into problems. Frequently circulated content and repeated posts. Oh Jesus, I have only 5 minutes left. Text-only posts. Posts that are frequently hidden or reported as low quality. Over-promotional content. And posts that reuse the same text as ads. These are what you need to avoid, okay? Stop running like and share competitions. Yeah? Stop running like and tag a friend. Just go to Ireland. I contacted them and said, guys, stop any form of engagement baiting. Words that can cause your post to be picked up are like, share and tag. Be very careful about putting them in the post, because remember, it's not always a human that's picking up the post. It could be a bot, a robot, yeah? And then they might end up giving your score, the score of your page, a lower score, and you might genuinely, not been clickbaiting or whatever. And here's another example of engagement like this page to watch more videos, share to help support our page. That is engagement baiting. You need to stop that. Here's an example of vote baiting. Which picture do you like? Below, see which one. That's vote baiting. React baiting, so that's, you know, click like if your eyes are blue. And share baiting, share this if you want to win this car. Tag baiting, tag a friend. Or comment baiting, go to our website and find out blah, 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 and type it on it. That's called comment baiting. So they want comments, but they want the comments to be authentic, because they know if it's authentic, then the content is good. And they're going to give organic reach to it because it's good, and not because you forced this engagement. What will happen? Posts that use this tactic will be shown less in the news feed, and over the coming weeks they will actually just penalise you more and more, basically. So what you need to do, I think I'm coming for it again. Number one, you need to change your mindset. People having problems using Facebook or any of the social media channels, because guess what? This isn't just for Facebook, it's for any social media channel. Our role of marketeers is to connect with customers and potential customers and to get our brand in front of them. So when they have a requirement for what we do, that they think of it. It is not to try and sell, sell, sell. If we do that, ultimately, we will not be successful. So you need to think like a TV or a radio producer. You need to think of your Facebook page or your Instagram page or your LinkedIn profile. You need to think of it as a place where you can broadcast to the world, okay? And when you think about TV or radio producers, okay, they sit down and they don't push out content that they think is interesting to them. They put out content that they know their audience want to hear, want to consume. So think like a radio or TV producer. Curate your content. So this is a post, 107% reach on that post, because it was me just connecting with my audience rather than trying to sell to them. I'm still getting my brand in front of them. You need to curate and plan your content. So this is a post, this is from my book. This is a lady who she sells cookies in a jar, and you go home and you make them up. But like she thought, oh, hang on, Pancake Tuesday, that's an opportunity. It's coming up again soon. So she put a little video together, useful video, 1 minute, how to make pancakes, this is how you do it. Her brand's there, organic reach of 1900%, because the content, the timing, everything, when she lined everything up and got it right, off it went, yeah? Curate and plan your content. That's not going to happen if you're not thinking about it in advance, if you're not giving yourself the time, if you're not sticking to a plan. Publish content that resonates with your customer. This is another one from my book, but I love it. Phantom Therapies. They specialize in fertility, advice for pregnancy, fertility and birth. Alternative therapies, in fact. So here she is, 1 minute, took her 1 minute to produce this, how you do reflexology on a baby that's teething, okay? Who's that useful for? Her target customer. Is she selling in that? Is she going, and you can buy one now? No, there's no sales at all in it. It's not a sales pitch. It's helpful, it's brand awareness, it's warming someone up, it's moving them through the funnel. And sales funnel, organic reach again of 1900%, okay? Get in the frame. Get in the frame. This is Jerry McGovern. He's from Leitrim. And when he puts up a post and he's in it, organic reach is 842%. If you put up a photograph of any of his work, it does well. People love that content on his page, before, after, this is what I do. It works. You keep doing it, Jerry. But if you put yourself in a photograph, you're going to get an increase in reach of about 50 to 100%. Okay, avoid any form of engagement baiting. I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's so important. So don't use any words that's going to be picked up. Authentic engagement is critical. So authentic engagement comes down to the quality of the content and the time of day, all those factors we spoke about earlier on, and that has an organic reach of 340%. So there's the engagement, the likes, the shares, the comments, and when you click on a post, you can see the clicks. It's quality versus quantity, okay? The time of posting every day on your page for the sake of it is gone. The time of posting 3 or 4 times on your page, trying to get in front of different audiences, is gone. Post less, but post better quality, okay? And if you've got loads of stuff that you need to post of, think about that editor, the curator of your content. Think what's good enough to put out there. Don't put out everything if it's not good enough. It'll harm your score. Produce original content. Don't be sharing from other pages. And review performance and learn from it. This is from Facebook Insights. You can see there, if you go into Facebook Insights, at the top panel there on your page, you click on posts. You can see when they were published. So you can see if there's any day of the week, time of the day that works or doesn't work. It's a really handy place to go and check. You get a view straight away. You can look at the type of post it was. You can look at the reach that each post has, and you can look at the engagement. And look at post clicks are so important. Vicky mentioned them earlier on. Post clicks are so important. They get their own little bar. And all the likes, comments, and shares are all counted together. Okay, so review performance and learn from it. And when you see any post that you create, and you'll see a little blue button underneath it, you click that and you get information like this. And you should be tuning in, and you should be reviewing what's working and what's not working, and that should inform your future strategy. So you should also develop a social media strategy. Businesses that have a strategy, that have a funnel for their content, that have a funnel for their sales, that have a funnel for their ads, okay? Businesses that have a strategy, they spend less time managing their social media because they know what they got to do. Their time is more effectively spent. They will have more consistency. They will know more of the content that's going to work. Okay, so they get better results. Okay, and that's it. So I've signed copies of the book out there if anybody would like one later on. And again, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them now if we've got time. If not, or if you're not in the room, please feel free to tweet me or to message my Facebook page, and I'll certainly answer any questions.